Hey everyone, it's Mario here. This is the eve of the new patch for Killer Instinct. By the time of uploading the video, the Killer Instinct Anniversary Edition has been released. It'll be the 10th anniversary since this game launched. Have the original kind of like collector's edition, which originally had pins for the season 1 characters. So we're finally getting, after years, a new balance patch. It's coming up, so everyone's excited in the KI community. It started with the original Killer Instinct in Super Nintendo from BioWare to even the Nintendo 64 Killer Instinct 2, which was Killer Instinct Gold on the Nintendo 64 when it was a little bit rebranded. Also, the original killer cuts that came with the Super Nintendo version of the game. A lot of great Eurobeats-ish, trance techno type music. Also other genres like Saberwolf had orchestral type music, and Cinder had more rock to it. So yeah, a lot of good memories listening to this back in the day. All the way to the 2013 Killer Instinct game, which as an original Killer Instinct fan, we never expected was going to be a third sequel. You know, it was kind of like a revamp. But so was always super excited when new and old characters were getting released on the Xbox. I eventually got Killer Instinct on the PC. That was my way of playing it. Even collected most of the Killer Instinct figures, missing Spinal and missing the big Jago figure. Here's a shot of all of them just out of the boxes. Not very posable, but some do look better than others. Being a comic book fan myself, I even got all the Killer Instinct comics for the Xbox game. Different variation covers, and it served somewhat sequel to the end of the Killer Instinct story mode on the 3rd season after your Gargos is defeated. You get to see what kind of happens. Even for all you old timers, have the original Killer Instinct comic for the first Killer Instinct game back when it was with Nintendo. They have all the old CGI renders similar to what they use for Donkey Kong Country, and try to follow the story of the game even though it was kind of loose, of them entering the tournament of Ultra Tech and fighting Idol at the end of that game. But if you've been around in my channel for a while, been a subscriber of my channel or seen any of my videos, you know that my main character has always been Kim Woo. I got the keychain from 86. Kim Woo, who was introduced in Killer Instinct 2/Killer Instinct Gold, became somewhat my favorite character, even though she's not as popular as some of the other fighting game characters. I'd say Orchid is the main girl for Killer Instinct, but I've always liked the less popular characters, which is why I always kind of like to draw her too. I liked her design in the 2013 revamp of Killer Instinct. I loved her more sporty, somewhat fashion designer, since she's a fashion design student, look in Killer Instinct 2013. She came out in season 3, but the purpose of this channel is mostly it's a drawing channel. I like to draw a lot in relations to Killer Instinct itself, rather than looking at some of my past drawings I've done of Kim Woo and some of the other Killer Instinct characters. We'll be looking at some of the fan arts that I didn't do, fan art that I actually commissioned other artists to do for me at conventions and seeing them online. We'll be looking at fan art of Kim Woo specifically. Especially with the rise of AI art, I feel now more than ever it's important to support artists online with commissions or their Patreon. But for me, I like to support them if they could draw Kim Woo for me. And that's what we're going to look at. We're going to look at a lot of digital art, some physical that you just saw of Kim Woo, and some of the ways they interpret the character, which we'll look at right now. So one of the first commissions I ever got done for me for Kim Woo was from Iron Pinky, who works at Udon Comics mostly and does a lot of Street Fighter characters and art pieces. I think it fit well because he usually likes to draw Chun-Li a lot, and they're both kung fu Asian characters, so fit the aesthetics really well with the dragon spirit he has in the background and the action pose he made. Since the Kim Woo drawing Iron Pink gave me was on Bristol board physically, I went in and scanned it and really recolored myself just for fun and to have it for the public to see and use. Quirkalicious is another artist I've seen online. I've liked his somewhat anime, colorful digital art style, great action pose. I really like the background and the coloring, and he knew automatically the kanjis on the belt, which was an added plus. Cartoonist Aru Barros from Brazil drew 2 pieces for me. I made him to the modern Kim Woo and one of the more classical looks for her from Killer Instinct 2 / Killer Instinct Gold. I really like his more cartoony style. It looks like it could be easily animated type of drawing. It makes it a lot more distinct from a lot of other artists online. He had a good spinning effect on the nunchuck on the modern Kim Woo drawing. It made her look more vicious, ready to fight. And on the classical Kim Woo, he gave her the dragon spirit that Kim Woo has in the game. A lot more elegant, somewhat easygoing. Calvin Sims has a very energetic take on the Kim Woo. He likes to draw somewhat muscular girls with great abs. Nice action pose with the jumping kick is something that Kim Woo does in the game. Dragon Spirit is a lot more fiery, but also gives a lot of source of light. Another Udon Comics alumni artist, Ginzo Man, who usually does a lot of covers, sometimes interiors. One of the more popular Kim Woo commissions that has been getting a lot of likes since it was featured online. Like the Dragon Spirit also around Kim Woo. This was something I request a lot from different artists to draw Dragon Spirits. That's part of the character. She looks more fun, outgoing. This one, not a serious pose. And you can see the Chinatown stage from the video game in the background. Hami, I found online. I think she does a lot of great swimsuits on anime girls. So we decided to go with more of a swimsuit look. So this was one of the first swimsuit designs artists gave Kim Woo. And I really like reference to the jacket she has in the Xbox Killer Instinct game. I think it fits well. So you could recognize it's the Kim Woo character along with the nunchucks. Very big expressive hair and great action pose, showing she's ready to go into battle even though she's in a swimsuit. Pixel artist and animator Hine, I asked him to do a small animation of Kim Woo's idle stance in the Xbox game. Very low resolution to keep that old Street Fighter 2-ish era look to the pixel art, but nice flow of the belt and pose is great. Looks just like the pose she does in the video game. This was the second artist to do Kim Woo in a bikini. Moone is mostly known for drawing anime girls in bikinis, so I thought it fit well for him to do his own take on Kim Woo in a bikini. And I think this is actually my favorite drawing of her in that summer swimsuit beach setting. I really like the colors, the pose, and the swimsuit fits really well with the character. You could tell it's her. A nice expressive smile, and it's really popular online. Kersey, really good pixel artist found on Twitter. Instead of doing Killer Instinct Xbox Kim Woo, we went with the classical Killer Instinct Gold, Killer Instinct 2 Kim Woo, and it fits in the style of Street Fighter Third Strike. He had done Hisako also from Modern Killer Instinct, and we made them pose together in one picture. But this is a really good pixel art of Kim Woo. You'd imagine how she would look like if she was rendered in sprite work rather than early CGI that she debuted in Killer Instinct Gold 2. Really love this one. Basic action pose and really muscular, strong, great overall. Female artist Nini did a more realistic kind of look to Kim Woo here. The head shape kept it more like how she kind of looks in the game, making it look like ugly, like some people have complained in her 3D model. Here I think she looks really well. Nice casual pose with the nunchucks around her neck, and great detail, realistic color shading all around. Another Japanese artist, Yagi, did his own take on the swimsuit summer Kim Woo. He was originally going to do a basic bikini top similar to the other one, but felt like the strapless one would make it look a little bit more different than the previous bikini drawings that Kim Woo has had. I really like the sun rays and the water splash. You could tell Kim Woo might have just swung her nunchuck and now it's forming around from the water splash. So it gives a lot of depth and character to this summer version of Kim Woo. Made by two brothers actually, Fear and Ryo Yoshimiya from Japan. Fear did the classical Kim Woo look and Ryo did the modern Kim Woo, also with the dragon spirit behind them. Very anime, manga type look to it. Crop marker, colors look amazing. So you could see the difference between the two versions of default Kim Woos. This is also one of my favorite commissions, especially the physical commissions, because it looks amazing in person. You can see all the details of the coloring and the crop marker whitening out. Sheath went with his own take on the summer Kim Woo, this time laying on a beach towel with more of a tied bikini top and different perspective than the other summer bikini Kim Woos, which made it very distinct. Really love the shading on this one from the top-down perspective that you're seeing Kim Woo lying on the beach with the shade from what you would imagine would be the umbrella to keep from getting sunburn. He added little details with the bracelets also on her legs and leg strap, which she would have in her default costume. More modern nunchucks on the side. Bit of a work in progress at the time of recording. He hasn't finished yet, but VJ was also gonna do a Kim Woo dragon kick motion to his illustration. You could see that he was gonna do the energy coming out of the kick when Kim Woo does the flying kick. I really like his very distinct style. The outline's very bold and it makes the character really stand out. I can't wait till this one's finished. Tamaki does a really cute kind of shonen anime style, and we went with the quote-unquote wedding look of Kim Woo, where she has somewhat of a wedding top, and I believe it's more like a tutu ballerina skirt and shoes. This version of Kim Woo would fit his style really well. A Japanese artist who has been getting a lot of attention from the FGC. I've seen him get commissions done from a lot of fighting game streamers. Tanataka has a very distinct sketchy look. I told him to do Killer Instinct 2 Kim Woo. Again, it's very distinct, very raw, I feel, unfinished somewhat on purpose. It gives a lot of energy, has his own look to it. Super Bowl, I believe he's Taiwanese, did this great drawing of Kim Woo. Kind of reminds me of the one that Iron Pinky did, somewhat of the reverse side. Also adding the dragon spirit in one version. But this one has also been one of the most well-liked commissions that Kim Woo got. Another artist I found around the tables in New York Comic Con, Sora Song, best known for doing Coffin Comics' Lady Death. She had a nice take on the default modern Kim Woo without the jackets. You see more of the tattoo and great detail with the pink dragon in the background. No one has done that. Really like how Kim Woo looks without the jacket, and it makes her stand out. Great details on around the eyes too. Raver Haku design does hand-drawn illustrations. He would fit more well with the classical Kim Woo look. I gave him reference to the Killer Instinct 2 stage with the mountain terrain and outdoor dojo. Also kept a more modern nunchuck, which I always like, rather than the plain nunchuck that Kim Woo has in Killer Instinct 2. Pose is a reference to one of the victory poses Kim Woo has in Killer Instinct 2. Patrick G has more of a very simplified style, which I really like. Makes his art a lot more distinct. So we gave him modern Kim Woo. It looks really cartoony, but in a good way. I actually do like this simplified cartoony style. Again, this one was a really quick turnaround, but I really like how Kim Woo looks here rather than just typical anime fan art that you probably see online. Felipe Ortega, he's been known to do very detailed pixel art. Rather than doing another modern or Killer Instinct 2 Kim Woo, we decided to go with the Soul Kim Woo, which I've drawn before. It's one of my favorite alternative outfits for the character. The chain is a little bit longer than Nunchuck would be. Very muscular, especially around the thighs. It looks like she's a lot more buff she is in the game. Do you want to state your name?
My name is Fan. Jiu Ge is my art name.
And where are you from?
I'm from Seattle area.
Seattle area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually does digital illustrations, but at the New York Comic Con floor, she was doing physical illustrations. So she did this crop marker illustration of Kim Woo with nunchucks behind her back. Very distinct style, somewhat simplified, but still a lot of detail. I do like the little design she added on the corner top right with the little heart. Fits well with the overall design.
Do you want to plug in like how do people find you?
Oh, yes, of course. If I have an art station, and if you search the name JIUGE, you will be able to find me online.
Tavius DP, based more on the look of Killer Instinct 2 era Kim Woo. Also added the dragon tattoo, which I feel like it's a good addition they gave her in the modern Killer Instinct game to make her a lot more distinct and recognizable. Also kept more modern nunchucks rather than the plain old nunchuck she had. He gave her more stockings than the fishnets that Killer Instinct 2 Kim Woo had, but I still feel it works. You could tell it's physical drawing and colors, very vibrant hair, very dynamic.
How was it?
Oh, it was good. Yeah, no, it was very good. Do you like it?
Yeah, it's very perfect. This was like very teenagery type of character.
This next commission I got in person from New York Comic Con 2023 from Marissa Pope. Just a busted headshot, Kim Woo in her modern look. We like the prop marker coloring, especially detail around the collar area. You could see there was a lot more work and design put into it than just putting basic blue around it. Also the blue around the hairband.
So that's it. I'm gonna make social media accounts for the Killer Instinct commissions I've gotten. I'll put out more as I'll get more commissions from different artists. I'm always for whatever the artist is good at drawing. I always lean towards that and their interpretation of Kim Woo. Let's be honest, like, she's not the most well represented in the fighting game community or even the art community as a character that, you know, everyone draws. Like Chun-Li, Cammy, they always have fan art. So I like to give her a little bit more fan art, a little bit more presence online. So that's it for now. I'll drop the social links down below in the descriptions. Hopefully enjoy the patch when it comes out.
Hey bub, like, comment, and subscribe to Mario U Comics, or else bub. Berserker Barrage!